Yes, guys, welcome to the next video in this first part of the technical course. So what we're going to be looking at this time is the theory of institutional order flow. So moving on from last time, we discussed market structure, we discussed premium and discount areas. But what do you actually do when you get to them premium and discount areas? Now, before we even get into the types of order blocks that we're looking at, is we need to understand how the institutions work. So one key thing that you must know is the retail traders, we're not the ones that move the currency pairs. We're not the ones that move the markets. It's the banks and the institutions. So you need to understand how they trade and what traces they leave behind. So what do I mean by the traces? It's this thing called order blocks where they set a certain amount of orders that that they need to come and mitigate. I'm going to draw this. I want to, teach this as simply as I can. So let's just do it through market structure. We're in a downtrend. We know we're in a downtrend because we're seeing a high, then a low, then a high, then another low that breaks below that. Now, if we still have that conviction that we're in a downtrend, that we're going to be going any lower, what do we need to look for? We need to look for a premium area to sell, right? We're not going to be selling at the 50% of the range that we've just created. So what we're going to be looking at is an area, let's just say between that 71 fib and the 1 fib. So what do banks do when they try and sell? Now, the traces they leave behind are so clear. When they're trying to sell, they would, let's just open this up. They would get to that area, then they can't just sell straight away, because if they would just put massive buy orders and massive sell orders, the markets would look crazy. What they would usually do is they would fake that order. So they put in some buy orders to send it up a bit. So some people, for example, they would think, oh, okay, that's the buy, let me get in. But no, it's a disguise in a way. They would put that buy order right in, let's just say 100 million of buy orders. That's set right there. The entry was there and it's still going. Then they would hedge against that, put a massive, massive sell. We could say this is what, 400 million they would put as a sell. Now, what this means is, yes, they've got their sales going, but they've also got this buy order in drawdown. So what they need to do is they need to eventually come. So they go all the way down. They're happy with their profits. They take profits there. Their sales are finished. So when their sales are finished, one key thing as well before we get into the rest is, for every seller, there's a buyer. So when one person sells, that contract is bought. So as soon as banks start taking profits of sales, what does that mean? The market is going to move up a bit, because that sell volume is still not there. It's still not going. So the orders have been eased. Eventually what happens is, if you remember, this buy order is still active. So let's just say we're at this point in time. Right now, they must be, I don't know, they've just made 100 mil. 100 mil right here. But this order is still going. They're at minus 25 mil. What do they need price to do? They need price to come and eventually mitigate this loss. Now, technically, it's still not a loss because it's still open. But what they try to do, if you remember, the entries right here, they want price to come right back to this area. And then as soon as they get there, close that trade at maybe a small loss of 2 mil, or at break even, for example, if it mitigates perfectly, or even deeper in it. So they could be cheeky and take some profits as well. But this is what institutional order flow is. You need to understand how markets move, why they move, and what they leave behind. And that is what we call order blocks. So let me just move on to the next slide. I'll clear up the annotations that we've just got. So yeah, this is, let's just say, for example, this is a screenshot I took of any market. I just some analysis I did a while ago. Quite a simple screenshot. What we are in right now is an uptrend. So if we look at this on the lower time frame, but if we look on the higher time frame, what we're doing is this. Let's just say that's a complicated pullback, this, and we're buying again. Now, what we're seeing right here is if we're looking for buys, obviously we're going to be looking for discounted areas. So anywhere below that. Now, what we expect price to do is to come back down, but to where? We need to look for this order block. We need to look for this manipulation that's happened. It doesn't even matter about the color of the candles. I mean, this could be black, red, blue, however you like. I keep it black and gray just to keep it quite simple. But this is the order block that we've just identified. You would usually look at the body of that. Obviously, you've got wicks as well. And this is something that I'm going to teach further later on in the course. Sometimes the wicks are very sensitive. Sometimes the body is sensitive. But yeah, this is that main move that we were talking about. The banks, they put that sell order right in there. And then, so that sell order was put in right there at £100 million order, whatever. Then they put 1 billion the other way. Price moves crazy the other way. Eventually, they take profits here. Then when they get back down, this is where price needs to be mitigated at least. Now, it depends. Price could be mitigated at this order. This is a valid order block as well. This is a bit too high because, of course, we're still looking for discounted areas. But this is one thing you need to understand. There are different types of order blocks, and understanding which ones need to be mitigated first. That will help you're going to understand that later on. But this is the theory of institutional order flow. What we expect is price to go back down there. It creates an order block, moves back up, boom, takes that high. Eventually, it might not come back straight to that order block, but it'll be a different type of order block. Then again, back up, then again. This is as long as you've got an uptrend and a downtrend in movement, that's very clear. This is what you're going to be getting. In consolidations, I'm going to teach what happens, but that's slightly different. Still work with the order blocks, but taking profits is different. How long your trade can last is very different as well. But yeah, this is the theory of order blocks. Search it up on the internet. I'm pretty sure there's many YouTube videos about it. Understand how the banks work. But yeah, you guys take care, and I'll see you in the next video.